welcome to Training Partners, where two fitness professionals bring you strong takes held loosely. I'm Weezy Shoemaker, joined by Justin McClintock, and we just started recording 15 seconds ago, so we have had no pre-prep. This is
Accurate.
it.
This is the
Doing it live.
preamble. The
This
amble
is
is the
it.
preamble. We're doing it.
How we're doing it. We're doing it. How are you, friend?
I'm good. I'm busy. I'm trying to catch up on a whole bunch of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and like content creation, schmata, and things like that. I sent you a
Yeah.
tiny clip of that earlier when I was trying to do a lecture and I think I didn't get 7 seconds in. I was like, it was about like figuring out your why, which we've talked about. And I think the clip was something like me, like, the why is your driving force. This sounds fucking stupid. Like, which is just like,
Well, yeah, you sent me this video and it's just you in front of a whiteboard and the only word on the whiteboard is
why?
why.
Yeah. Yeah. That's usually, I don't know if this ever happens to you, but I've actually found it a really good barometer. Whereas if I'm trying to make something for what social medias or lecturing or things like that, and I kind of get stuck and don't know where I'm going next and forget what I'm supposed to say, if I do that more than once, it's probably bullshit that I don't believe in. I should just trash it. Not that
Yeah,
I'm like endorsing snake oil, but I'm
right.
trying to like shove an idea into a box that it doesn't really authentically fit in, and it's a
Yep,
waste of time and I should move on.
yep.
Yep.
Totally agree with that. If I have to do more than 2 takes on something,
Yeah.
it I need to move on from it, even if it's worth talking about, like, maybe another day.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I don't know what I'm talking about or where I'm going. I'm not going to do this anymore. Or I need to do a very different version of this. Or something like that.
Mhm.
For those on the video feed, which I have to suggest today, your hair looks lovely.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm not wearing my over the ears,
Mhm.
so you can actually see it, and I don't know how I feel about that. So both of my pairs of headphones,
Mhm.
bit the bullet at the same time.
Bummer. Okay.
Yeah. So my green over the ears that are like classic
Right.
Wheeze, love them. I mean, they're very inexpensive. I bought them, which this ties really nicely into this episode, so maybe we'll go there after this. I thought, I think I will like over the ears, but I don't want to invest in like a $500 like Audio Technica or Bose or
Right.
AirPods Max on the get-go, because what if I actually don't?
Yes. I actually don't know exactly where we're going because I'm not
Oh,
updated on this.
sick.
But I
Okay,
have,
well, I'll just keep playing with my hair because I feel so
yeah.
uncomfortable about not having my over the ears on.
Well, it looks great. I was being sincere. I was
Thank
like,
you.
this is eye catching. I
Thank
was
you.
like, something's happened. And I think maybe it's just I don't get to see as much of it at
Well,
length all
yeah,
the time.
it's usually up, and also I
Mhm.
got a blowout.
Sure. There we go.
Um, not a not a keratin treatment. It's not permanent. When
Mhm.
I wash it, it will go back to the ringlets. Um, but side quest, I have very dry skin and very dry hair,
Mhm.
and so I can go like up to like 17 days between washing it and it still looks really good.
Okay.
But that's not true if it's my natural curl, because it looks insane. Like it starts to look bad day 2 or day 3.
What's using words other than bad? Describe it.
Oh, frizzy.
Okay. Sure.
Like
Yeah.
like freshly washed, and I have a whole kind of post-wash day routine. It'll look really, really good for a day or 2.
Mhm.
And certainly I could go in and like do a refresh, but then you're using extra product. It starts to look build-uppy. That takes time too. Um, and so something that I am trying is that I am paying to get it blown out once a month,
Okay. Cool.
and then doing a wash day or 2 in the mix.
Mhm.
Like outside of that. So we'll see. I kind of go through seasons of like, what does self-care feel like in this season? I went through the season where I always had my nails done, and then I decided, oh, this actually isn't as important to me anymore, and I don't want to spend the time or money there. But this is where I'm choosing to spend the time and money at the moment. So thank you for noticing.
Absolutely. I like it.
Yeah. Um, and I'm also wearing new AirPods that we had to
Okay.
spend a little bit of time trying to get connected
Yep.
because my old, literally Gen 1 AirPods that I think were a decade old,
Mhm.
um, finally stopped holding charge at all. And my over the ears started giving me an echo roughly half a second after I was speaking,
Ooh. Yeah, no good.
which, yeah, you can see how that would get really like I'd be like talking to somebody like, "Can you hear me? Okay."
Yeah, no, you can't have I mean, echo is
No,
terrible, but local lag is insane and a good way to,
awful,
like, set up a feedback loop, etcetera.
awful,
Yeah.
awful. So,
Oh, thanks.
yeah. Um, so today I'm really nervous about today because I have exactly 18 words in my notes for today. And so the idea behind today, some of it was inspired by what I'm experiencing with my headphones, and some of it is inspired by what I'm experiencing on my pickleball journey,
Oh, yeah.
which is the question, does your gear matter?
This is a great one. I love it.
Yeah. So I think we've probably seen this many times with people when they're looking to get into a new hobby. It could be fitness or otherwise, it could be absolutely
Mhm.
anything. The question comes up of, well, what's the right X that I need to get for this?
Yeah. Tell me what
Right.
to buy.
Right. Tell me what to get so that I can get started with this. When that's completely taking out of the equation, am I actually going to want to do this
Yeah.
long term? And as we're getting started with a new thing, I hate to break this to you, friends, but like your $1,000 golf clubs are not going to take you from early beginner to advanced.
No, and there I'm sure you're gonna get into this, but you're you're so likely to buy the wrong $1,000 and I'm sad I don't know a lot about it. I think $1,000 golf clubs actually aren't particularly expensive golf clubs. I think they go way up. But I immediately thought of, taking it out a little bit out of fitness of musical instruments,
Mm,
right? If your kid or anybody wants to learn, a guitar or a drums or things like that, they're often called like starter sets or starter kits or starter instruments where it's, a $200 acoustic guitar, which is not
right.
nothing, but it's not several $1,000s all the way up to like figure out if you even want to spend time there
Right.
because the differences to people who know and care about it of the $5,000 acoustic guitars are huge.
Huge.
And when you know enough, you're not gonna want this one, and you really want this one, but right now you don't know enough about it.
Right. Exactly. And there can be this really, I think, hindering idea behind watching people who are really good at the thing and the way that they outfit themselves or the equipment that they have or the way that they carry themselves or like they have a handler and they have a PR team and they have like a custom website
Yeah,
and they also have their own branded colored gear,
yeah.
right? You just don't fucking need that to take it on as a first step. You might get there at some point, but exactly to that point, once you get a little ways down the road, the thing that you might have splurged on day 1 is like, "Oh, this is the path to take here." Might not actually be your preference on day 500.
100%. I've had this conversation with lots of, especially coaches, but people who wanna do podcasts.
Yeah.
People who, like, they're just kind of vibrating in place because they feel like they need to buy thousands and thousands of dollars of stuff. Like, well, I don't have a mixer and I don't have the right cameras and I'm not sure about my lighting setup. And I was going to get this custom background. You're like, bro, press record and talk into your phone. Why don't you do it? Like, prove that you're going to do it and do it for a little while. And you can always make everything better. But right
Right.
now, you're sitting in place and kind of letting this thing be a roadblock or an excuse in a way that
Mhm.
it doesn't deserve and you haven't earned.
Right. So that brings us into the first question to ask yourself when you're considering, does gear matter?
Yeah,
Am I using this as an excuse or am I using it as a path?
beautiful distinction.
Right? If I'm using it as an excuse, well, I can't get started with tennis because I don't have tennis shoes. Do you have shoes?
Yes.
Sick. Can we start there?
Yes. If you walk onto a tennis court, they are now tennis shoes. Congratulations. This has something in common with beach bodies is that it's fine. It's good.
It's
You're
fine.
good. It's already
It's
there.
actually fine. It's actually fine. So how this came up to me, um, was over the weekend. You know, people who've been listening regularly know that pickleball is my very favorite thing to do during
Yeah.
the week. And I am on the precipice of being accepted into like the advanced course at the place that I play,
Mhm.
which feels cool and terrifying and awful because I am losing more. Um, but over the weekend, somebody who I am honestly scared to death of, she will never find this because she doesn't know my real name. She is she is a fearsome creature. I like am fascinated by her. She said, "Hey, why don't you use one of mine on this next game?" Meaning her paddle. And I was like, "Oh, why?" And she goes, "You'll see." And so she handed me what I found out to be after the fact almost a $300 paddle. Whereas the paddle that I started playing pickleball with was like maybe $30,
Sure.
right? It has lemons on it. It it I imagine is what somebody would buy to play pickleball on a cruise.
Totally.
Um like it's built for vibes,
Yeah.
not for function. And serve number 1 with this new paddle that she handed to me, I gasped, like floored.
That big a difference.
Like we talk about the idea of like, "There's this whole other room back here, let me show you."
Yeah.
I was experiencing that in real time, and, um, what was really cool is that I was playing her and another person who also is terrifying to me. I consider them both to be 2 of the most advanced people that aren't insane.
Mhm.
Um, and my partner and I beat them,
Ooh,
and it is the first time that I've ever beaten either one of them independently or together.
very cool.
And so it led me down this idea of like, "Oh, maybe gear does matter once you get to a certain place,"
100%. Yeah.
right? We use it as a hindrance from getting started. I don't have the right stuff. I'm going to stick out. People are going to notice me. My ability to learn how to do this correctly is going to be hindered. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Just just get started and figure out if you actually want to do the thing. But then once we get to a certain level, of wanting to progress in whatever it is, this could be applied to literally anything.
Yeah.
You're likely going to graduate out of the stuff, and it could be not even physical stuff. It could be mindset paradigms. It could be ways that you're speaking to yourself. You're going to graduate out of those
Yeah.
things, right?
Completely.
And that might mean at that point, yeah, we kind of maybe need some new gear.
Yeah. It's absolutely true. And then and it when you get to that point, you can also start telling the difference.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I imagine that if you had gotten that $300 paddle your first week of pickleballing, your performance probably wouldn't have been affected. Maybe it would have
No.
been a little more comfortable or your wrist would have been less sore or something, but the performance difference you noticed immediately wouldn't have been there, partly because you couldn't tell what was going on. You hadn't had
No.
however many thousands of serves that you've done at this point hadn't happened, so you just don't know enough.
Right.
Yeah,
You don't know enough about what's good yet. You need to experience bad
yeah.
to understand what you're even looking for.
This is there's a version of this I often do with remote clients because I will frequently get the question, especially people who are working out at home with
Mhm.
maybe minimal gear of
Yeah.
what else do you think I should buy? And I'm trying to think of a time that this isn't true. I think 100% of the time my answer is you're good. We can
Mhm.
do what you have right now. We can do thousands of workouts with.
Yeah.
If we get to the point where we need something else, it's because you'll have gotten so strong and so capable that kind of time and efficiency won't let us be here
Yeah.
anymore. And that does happen. I
Right.
actually just I don't do this all the time, so if you're listening to this, don't hold me to it, but I shipped a client some adjustable dumbbells because
Mm,
they had dumbbells up to, like, I think 10 pounds or 12 pounds or something, which many months ago was great.
yeah.
And we had gotten to the point where to get anything done, we were having to do sets of, like, 30 just to start a cycle with. And honestly, I don't want this person doing that many hundreds of reps every time we do a workout for all kinds of reasons. You know
Yeah.
what? You need something heavier. You've absolutely earned it. I'm going to keep a lookout for a package in the next week. I got to send you something.
Sure.
But it wouldn't have made sense earlier, and I meant it when I said they don't need anything. And then
Right.
I didn't send them, the $1,200 stainless steel goes up to 110 pound dumbbells, because that also wouldn't have made sense, and it would have been the
Right.
wrong thing. Like, we kind of took the next big step up, and that's the appropriate thing.
Right. That's right. As you progress in things, you're likely to need different stuff to continue progressing. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And I do think there are often downsides to buying the really nice thing early, even if your, like,
Mm,
money is no object, whatever, you know, brand new photographer who buys the top of the line SLR, it's going to get in their own way because they don't understand yet. They can't make those
right.
distinctions. They don't know when and why to use these different lenses. They should
Right.
actually get a bunch of chops in with a 35 millimeter, get kind of good, and they'll start understanding what they can and can't do and start being
Right.
like, no, I really need a 50. I need a 50 for this kind of work. That's what
Right.
I need. Okay, now I have a 50. Oh, this is so much better. Good. And they'll start understanding the distinctions they need from, rolling forward from there.
Right. And allowing them, with that particular analogy, allowing them to develop a style first to determine what would even be the right thing to get
Yeah.
because there are 1,000 options
Yeah.
on the market, right? Apply that anywhere. If you Google right now, what are the best golf clubs,
Yeah.
right? Like for what?
Mhm.
Like, and so until you've determined, hey, okay, what is my particular strength in this and what is my particular opportunity in this? What do I need to do? I'd have no
Yeah.
idea yet. I have to figure piece one out first.
Completely. I know you and I
Yeah.
both just went through this with, outfitting gyms, and
Yes.
we're both at the point where we were very particular about
Yes.
what we wanted in a way that 15 years ago would not have made any sense and probably would have been the wrong move. Like,
Correct.
I was researching and saving for months and months and months, tiny little details like, "Oh, well, if I get this configuration, I can add
Hmm.
this tiny piece that's really important to me, and it'll affect storage in this way," and, like, the way all
Right.
these things put together, that would have been goofy in 2010.
Right. I had a spreadsheet that I created almost a full year ago
Yeah.
with like columns based on vendor of, okay, I know I want this many of this. Who has it? What does it cost? What are the pros and cons of each? And like literally highlighted, okay, based off of how things look exactly today, this is what I think I'm going to get when we finally get to the place of opening
Yeah.
sustained.
You were sourcing things that didn't exist yet. You were sourcing things that had been,
Yeah.
like, rumors had been posted about. Like,
Right.
well, if they actually get the response they need to fabricate this, I'm gonna be the first in line because that would fit this slot exactly. However, I also need a plan B because right now this literally is fiction.
That's right. I think, aside from getting Eras Tour tickets twice, the most excited that I've been in the last decade, well, and my children being born,
Eh,
was, um, the email notification that I got when the Volt Nike barbells were available in the US, um, because Nike teased about them, I don't know, like 5 or 6 months
months
before
beforehand, yeah.
months before I opened Sustained. And then they became available, but only in Europe. Um, and I knew, "Hey, we're gonna be doing this, like, this is on a real timeline now, I'm gonna need barbells. I'd like it to be these." And getting the notification that, "Oh my god, they're here."
Yeah, the timing was incredibly fortuitous.
Yeah. So to bring it maybe a little more full circle, question to ask yourself, is the pursuit of this gear that I want to acquire for hobby, lifestyle, profession, whatever it
Mhm.
is it going to benefit me or am I using it as an excuse to not get started?
Yeah. It's
And
huge.
only you can answer that. We can't answer that for you, right? Am I letting this stand in my way or am I letting it empower me to take the next step forward? And so to answer the question, does gear matter to get started? Absolutely not. To level up once you're ready to fuck it up, probably.
Yeah, completely. It reminds me a lot of companies work this way now with products, software, courses, things like that. The term is it's usually minimum viable product. And is what is the
Yeah.
absolute least that needs to exist in order for
Ooh.
to take the next step. And it's not it's sort of analogous to being one chapter ahead of the kids in class, and that means you can teach the course, right? You
Right.
don't need to write the entire book and have an incredible set of indices and make sure that the paper is going to be the way you want it and get a cover artist. No, 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 no. If you can get started on chapter 2, you can start teaching chapter 1 and see if anyone even wants to be taught chapter 1. I do this
Right.
stuff all the time. I'd be like, if you would like my, secret workout presentation that I do all the time, DM me workout and I'll send it right to you. And a bunch of time no one does anything. Good thing I haven't
Right.
created shit. But if
Right.
20
It's not
people
there
are like,
yet.
"Justin, I really wanna see how you prepare for these kind of workouts," I would say, "Oh, that's so cool. 20 people wanna know. Good news,
Great.
gang. I'm putting the finishing touches on it. I'll have it to you in the next 24 hours." And away I go. But I'm not gonna
Wow.
sit and make a whole bunch of stuff that may or may not need to move forward. I'm capable of doing it. I knew I could do that thing in 24 hours.
Mm.
But what's the least you need to get started? Like, yeah, you need to own probably some kind of sneakers to be on a tennis court. I think there's rules.
Right.
I don't think you can do it in, like,
There are
loafer.
rules. Yes.
But
Somebody once got kicked off for trying to play in Crocs.
yeah, totally. And that's
Yeah.
yeah, a bad idea for a number of reasons. But you don't need to spend a bunch of time researching and make sure you have the absolute best shoes that are supportive in this way and have this kind of traction and this kind of bounce and this kind of no, 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 don't. Just like
Yeah.
grab sneakers, get started. We can always make it better. I mean, this is
Right.
like all fitness, right? This is the people
Yeah.
who are like,
I mean, this is everything.
it's everything. Well, I can start when I have more time, I have more money, the kids go to school, this is easier, I lose a little bit of weight, I'm feeling more better just after surgery when I all the stuff that gets in the way. And the real answer is no, we can start a pretty good thing right now
Right.
and then make it better and better and refine it. And by the time this mystical time when things get easier and you have more room in your life and it's the perfect time to get started, that will magically intersect with, oh, we've actually put in enough reps and enough time to make this really good and refine this in a way that really lights you up.
Right. I wonder because this feels really timely in this kind of Black Friday ish scheme of time because
Yeah.
lots of companies are trying to press people to make decisions like this,
Yeah.
right? We're in the time of year where people are a little more friendly to spending without making any commentary on the state of the world or the state of US. Um, like I have been being targeted with really fancy cooking videos
Oh,
and
interesting.
I really love to cook. I don't have a lot of time for it right now, particularly as I'm working more out of the home and Ted is doing a lot of the dinner cooking. Um, but it can be really easy to be stuck in like, oh, well, this is a French recipe and it calls for this specific pan. And so I can't make it if I don't have that pan.
Totally. Yeah.
Right. And of course, the influencer has a discount code for you if you'd like to use it within the recipe itself, right?
Conveniently enough.
Conveniently enough, which if you enjoy French cooking and are ready to level up your French cooking, like, please buy the $300 whatever it is.
Yeah.
And if you can get 15% off and an influencer can benefit from that, wonderful. That's mutually beneficial. Do it. And you don't need to fucking start there.
Yeah. You can get
Just get to
pretty close.
work. Right.
Yeah.
Let's figure out if we even like French cooking in the first place. because
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that, like, the leeks are gonna feel fine in whatever pot you have.
Yes. Something tells me we'll get through it. And
Something tells me these leeks will be leaky.
yeah,
You'll be fine.
yeah, exactly. There's so few and in cooking, there's so few things where you need something super specific as opposed to maybe baking where, like, chemistry is such a big
Sure.
deal. Like, close I always think of cooking, like, much more like jazz, which I occasionally get into
Yeah.
trouble about because I'll make something, Rebecca will say, "Oh, what's this from?" I was like, yeah, I kinda followed a recipe." When you say "kind of," what did you do? It's like, I started," and I was like, "I think I get the vibe. I think I know where this guy's going, and I'm gonna put a little Justin on it." She's like, "That explains a couple of things."
Explains a few things. That
Yeah.
reminds me of, my sister-in-law is a trained chemist.
Mm,
Um, and she studied at Ohio State, where chemistry is, like, one of the more difficult majors that you can take. She is a genius, and I cook like you do,
yeah.
which is like, well, I was following the recipe, and then I decided this would be cool with something else.
This actually needs a
Um,
guitar solo, so that's what
right,
we're doing.
right. Or like measurements? No, no, we
Oh,
just kind of like that's about a quarter of a teaspoon. It's fine.
yeah.
Um, and she was like appalled. We had a conversation about that at one point. She was like, you do, you don't measure." I'm like, "No,
No,
usually no." She was like, how the what?" Like, I had short circuited her brain. Like, "Yeah, yeah, mhm, sorry."
yeah, because we're overwhelmingly seasoning, not trying to cause chemical reactions.
Right,
It's different. Yeah.
it's different. But then, she would make also perfectly viable takes on, like, "It's not different at all. What do you mean?"
I understand, and like I said, I get into trouble about this, and I
Right.
think it's the chefs I know tend to be more on my side, but see
Mm,
earlier discussion, it's because they've got well over 10,000 hours in, and
right.
they know. Like, when something they taste something like, it needs a little meh," that in their
They
brain, they're
know.
actually like, "Oh, actually, it's 2 teaspoons of cayenne and a tiny bit of
Right.
coriander in a way in ratios that make sense for everything that's going on, and it's gonna be right." Are they, like, throwing it with their hand and kinda pinching it? Yes, but they've also done that so many times that you could probably measure what's in that pinch, measure 20 pinches, and you would be within a gram on each one. 'Cause,
Mm,
it turns out
mm.
that people who are really good, and they're good at doing all of the tiny things that make up the whole.
Right, right. Um, that brings up something for me that I think that you right now are on a deficit. Is that true?
It is, yeah, caloric deficit.
Are you tracking?
I am.
Yeah. So I am starting my first deficit. I'd say I have started my
Mhm.
first deficit in a while. Well,
Just in
my
time for
first in
Thanksgiving. Sweet.
just in time.
Yep,
Just in time. We like to do things at the time when it feels the most supported by our
yep,
external environment. So right before the holidays feels like just right. And I don't like to track all the time,
mhm,
but I do like to track when I'm noticing that I've maybe gotten a little too loose and I can't remember, like, what does a half a cup look like?
totally.
Right?
Mhm,
What is 30 grams of this particular thing? Right? Because we have relatively short memories. Um, and it can be helpful for a period of time to be a little more precise and a little more specific to allow us to be looser later. And
yeah,
so that ties in really nicely to this for me because it's like, yeah, precision is important sometimes
mhm,
to allow you to be better without having to be so focused on it. But if you don't know what you're looking for, see chef, right? Hey, it tastes wrong and I don't know why, right? We have to know, okay, what is 30 grams?
mhm, yeah,
Great. Okay.
completely.
Yeah. Before we can take any kind of actionable steps in could this be better in ways that I'm capable of executing?
Yeah, and making sure that it really is a priority to you, right? That
Yeah,
the outcome you'll get, the thing you're going to, the information you'll gather, the changes that can be made from this upgrading or tracking or precision actually matter. I don't think I've tracked food for any length of time for, I mean, it's been years. And there
same.
was a period where like I couldn't because I got really obsessive
Yep,
and I didn't mean to do this, but I started seeing like, well, I know I'm supposed to be like minus 500 calories. I bet I could do minus 900. I could win.
right.
I can win. And you're like, well, I would always, always, always tell someone else to never do this and why it was a bad idea and potentially a sign of disordered eating. But I'm special, so we're gonna rock and roll here.
Right.
And
I'm the exception.
yeah, yeah. Unsurprisingly, Justin thinks he's a unicorn again and goes spiraling off in the wrong direction. Like, "Oh, I can't do this anymore. I'm taking it away. Sorry, I'm taking your toy away. You're not allowed to." And it was a bit before I considered it a couple of times. I was like, it's not important enough. Like, I know what it
Yeah,
is. I know what it feels like. I understand. I'm not there right now. And it was only
right,
I'm only at time of recording, like a couple weeks in, 3 weeks in, or 4 weeks in, or something like that,
right,
that it was actually important enough to me to actually do.
right.
And then it felt great. And then it felt easier and normal and natural, and I wasn't doing crazy things.
Yep,
But I'm also not tracking everything. Like, I'm tracking
yeah,
calories and I'm keeping an eye on protein. That's it.
sure. Yeah.
Full stop.
I love it. For me, deciding to get started on a deficit is really because I want to know exactly what maintenance and what a build phase would
Mhm.
look like. Because I really want to go into a build phase. I want to get stronger. But before I do that, I would like to lean out a little bit and then find maintenance and
Yeah.
then build.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
doing the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah. Right. Hey, I want to go there. I need to start here.
yeah. And you know enough that going there immediately won't be the right thing
No.
because we need a bunch more information. So, all right,
Right.
buckle up, cupcake. We're
Great.
gonna take this ride, and
Great.
it's gonna be uncomfortable for a little while, but I know where it goes.
Right. And to tie that in that instance, if I'm just saying, "Hey, I want to eat a little healthier," right? Okay, great. I can start to eyeball my palm portion sizes and make sure that I'm eating at least 3 meals a day and noticing my hunger and fullness cues.
Mhm.
But if I want to go into an intentional build phase, I probably am gonna need a food scale. I probably am gonna need a body scale. I probably am gonna need a strong why behind that, and I need to know what maintenance is first, right? So, does the elevated thing matter to get started? No, not at all. That would be going in the way of majoring in the minors, right? And
And would not have the effect you're looking for. I
no,
think that's really
no,
important. Like, if you
right.
jumped to build phase, you would at best miss by a bit, and it
Yeah,
wouldn't be nearly as good as it could be. It could go really badly.
right. Right. Yeah. Um, so you need to just get started with the thing, major in the majors, major in the things that are really important, and decide, do I have everything that I need to get started? Not necessarily everything that I want or would want to be perceived of me to get started. No, just do I have exactly what I need? Do I have that minimum saleable? What was the phrase that you used?
Minimum viable product.
Minimum, do you have the minimum viable product
Yeah,
to get started? Whether it's in your business or in your personal life or in a hobby, it could be literally everything,
yeah,
right? Do I have that? Great. Get started. And then a little ways down the road, you might realize, oh, actually, I'm really enjoying this. I want to keep going and I need X to
yeah,
keep doing it well. Great. Now
yeah.
you will have a lot more information about what X should actually be and look like.
And this will also happen, just tying it back into fitness and our practice, because I know most of the time the people who come to work with us have a decent amount of training history. I think that's fair to say.
Yes.
They've done some stuff for a while. Occasionally, I'll get someone who's fairly new and they're excited to get started. And for any number of reasons, they've decided, you know what? I'm going big. I'm hiring a big fancy coach to get started with my fitness. And
Mm,
before I accept any money, I talk them through that, this is the beginning's going to be really boring. Like, we are going to
yeah,
start with like walking and some body weight squats and some
right.
basic, like, probably the first 4 to 6 weeks of any workout template you would download in the world. Now I'm going to be
Mm.
watching and we're going to take all the information we gather from there to build the next thing. But just so you know, I'm not going to give you the 3 magic exercises that the fitness community have been withholding from you that are actually going to be the things that you need. That's not true. Do
Right,
you still want to do this? And usually the
right.
answer is yes, but I think it's really important to be straightforward that you you're not going to get the incredibly complicated calisthenic zercher half kneeling with a rotation spin kickstand Romanian variant because not only would it not work, but you don't have the reps and the muscle memory and the motor pathways to even make it effective if you were able to do it in the first place.
Right,
So, we're probably gonna deadlift.
right. That's right. That reminds me of one client who started exactly in that way, right?
Mhm.
"Hey, I'm new to fitness, and I want your support in this." And for almost the entire first cycle, would shake through almost every exercise involuntarily,
Yeah, totally.
and was like, What am I doing wrong?" Like, "Nothing. That's just a motor control issue, baby. We just the only way through that is reps, and you're gonna shake until you don't."
Yeah. It's your 3rd squat ever. That's
Yeah.
often what happens. That's okay.
Yeah, your body's like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah. But just to add some nuance to it, having you in the room, watching it, and saying,
Yeah.
"No, that's right.
No, that's
Everything's
right.
good. Do another one. Everything's
You're
good.
good.
Do another one." Probably saved that person a year of backing
Totally.
out and saying, "Oh, well, this feels wrong. I'm doing something wrong. I
Right.
I
I
I
shouldn't
can't
be
squat.
shaking.
It's too dangerous, or I need to work on you know what I need? Compression pants. That'll fix this. I'm gonna get some research some compression pants." And, take 3 different rides they don't need to take before they end up back where you started them.
Right. That's right. That's exactly correct. So, if you are grappling with something and wanting to get started and holding yourself back because you feel like you don't have what it needs, you probably do have what it needs. Just get started and you'll figure out some more important and relevant things on your way there.
Yeah. There's always ways forward because another element of this is there's always better gear. There's always another
Oh,
version. There's
yeah.
always something where you're like, "Well, no, this is top of the line." And you hear about this guy in Switzerland who's custom extruding squat racks from a single piece of titanium based on your
Right.
own biometric data, and you're like, "Oh, well, that's really nice, but I don't
Right.
I don't need that. The rogue stuff is gonna be just fine." Okay, cool. To be clear, I am and a lot of coaches are like this, like, I'm a total gear nerd. If you
Mhm.
want to talk gear and the pros and cons of various kinds, I will, but I also come down really hard on what do you actually need and what's the difference.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. In short, you don't need a lot. You just need to get started.
Yep. What you probably need is to get to work, and things will make themselves very clear as you get to work.
Love it. Love it.
How would you like a segment?
I would love a segment. What do you have prepared for us,
This is
Chef
in
Justin?
some ways my most egotistical state segment to date
Great.
because I have prepared a quiz on Columbus, Ohio, uh, which is where you live. I think it's only 6 questions.
Okay.
My hope is that you get one wrong. If you get more
Okay.
than one wrong, I'll feel extra good about myself. But I don't know because I don't live there. I don't know how hard these are. I don't know how well known these are. I
What if
dug
this is
around for
like
some facts.
what if this is like the Taylor Swift quiz and it just like eats my lunch?
That would make me incredibly happy. But similar to the Taylor Swift quiz, which was quite a while ago, but listeners can go back and find that. I don't know how hard these questions are. They
Sure.
felt obscure to me, but
All right, let's find out.
So I think what I did is in my favorite format, I'm going to ask you a question and give you three answers.
Yes.
One of them is accurate. Two of them are some shit I made up.
Great.
All right. Which of these really happened in Columbus? A. Columbus banned indoor plumbing in 1908 due to the typhoid epidemic.
Doo doo.
B. Columbus built the world's first large scale water treatment plant in 1908. Or C. The city imported bottled water from Cleveland until 1908.
Oh, I'm gonna say water treatment plant is true.
That is correct. The first large scale water treatment plant using filtration and softening. So maybe there were other things that
Yeah.
were trying to be water treatment, but what we think of as water treatment, apparently Columbus was the first.
Wow. Good on ya.
Let me keep score here. Yeah, yeah,
1.
one. Question number two. Which one of these is real? A. The Wright brothers flew the first pizza delivery to Columbus in 1910.
Oh.
B. The first airplane cargo delivery in history was flown from Dayton to Columbus in 1910. Or C. Columbus refused to allow airplanes to land in the city limits until 1922.
I believe it's city limits.
It is not. It's the first airplane cargo delivery.
Wow.
First time
From
cargo was ever
Dayton.
delivered. It was silk, apparently.
Oh, okay.
I I don't know why Dayton had so much silk. I didn't look that up.
I would love to look that up.
I mean, I'm sure it didn't start well, I don't know. I don't wanna, like, diss Dayton, but I'm feeling like the silk didn't start with
You get
Dayton.
your highest quality silks from Dayton, Ohio.
The silkworms of Dayton, Ohio. Uh, Question number 3. Oh, I need your help here. It's all about this one river, but I'm not quite sure how to say it, so before I mangle it 3 times, is it Olatangi? Do you know what I'm talking about? Olatangi?
Olentangy.
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 That is not how it's spelled. A. The Olentangy is the only river in Ohio that flows north. B. The Olentangy River's name is actually a mistake. That's not what the river's name is. Or C. The Olentangy was once known as Nile Minor.
Oh, I think it's Nile Minor.
It is not. The river's name is administrative mistake. I think this is slightly interesting. So there was a move in 1833 to restore a bunch of original Native American names to
Sure.
the Ohio rivers. So they had Native American names that were known and recorded.
Mm,
Unsurprisingly, American settlers renamed them all. We're going to call this the
right.
big one. We'll call this the broad one. We'll call this the Smith River, whatever. 1833, very progressive to be doing this pre-Civil War. It was
Sure.
determined they were going to put the river names back, and they screwed up. The Olentangy River is actually supposed to be the uh is it I'm looking at all my notes here. It's supposed to the Big Darby Creek, that's the Olentangy River.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Because
Oh,
Olentangy means river of red face paint, and apparently
sure.
there's a bunch of, like, red clay, and that's where all the red face paint came from, and the
Yeah.
Olentangy is supposed to be the Whetstone River,
Wow.
and they just, like they screwed up the admin in the book
Yeah.
and swapped it and thought they were restoring the river's name, but kind of like a twin swap movie, they put him in the wrong thing and sent them on their way, and apparently there's no going
That
back
could
now.
that could be in an episode of Parks and Rec. Like Leslie
100%.
Leslie Knope with a banner at the
Yep.
river.
"And I christened this," "Boosh," and someone runs up and is like, "You didn't do it yet, did you?" "Yeah?" "Oh, no. We found a mistake." Yeah, that would they should bring it back and just make that one.
That would be hilarious.
Question number 4. The first US drag race happened in German Village. That's A. B. Columbus hosted the world's first 24-hour automobile race. C. The Indianapolis 500 was originally supposed to be in Columbus, but moved last minute after a rich donor intervened.
Oh. Hmm. I have no idea. Let's say Indy 500.
No, it was the world's first 24-hour car race.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I forgot it was in 1905. I know that.
Yeah.
So the cars must have been terrifying to drive for
Yeah.
that long.
One of the um one of the things that we miss about living in Nashville is our first house there. We had these incredible neighbors, Mike and Marianne.
Mhm.
Um and Mike was one of the founders of the International Race of Champions.
Oh, wow.
And he had one of the original, I think, like 28 IROC vehicles in his garage.
Wow.
Um, and they would roast a whole chicken every Friday night. For being as accomplished as they were like remarkably down to earth, humble, lived well below their means. We were in like a $200,000 starter home,
Mhm.
45 minutes out of the city, and they live next door. Um, and they would come over and be like, "We made a chicken and we've got margaritas. Come over, kids."
That's
And
so cute.
we'd go over and they'd tell us about like how they were assigned to like um not chauffeur, but like supervise
Mhm.
Russian Olympians
Oh,
at
sure.
Olympics during Cold War era time and like, "Hey, but
Wow.
they need to think that we're just friends. Like
Right,
we're keeping an eye on them, but they need to think we're hosting them."
right. And half of those athletes are also placed to keep an eye on the Americans. You're like, "Oh,
Right, right,
yeah."
right. And they had this just incredible artwork, like, I think one of the paintings they had was almost 18 feet tall, like, in this just crazy they bought the house because it was big enough with an open stairway for them to hang some of this incredible artwork that they had, like,
Well,
propaganda era stuff. Wild.
that's very
So,
cool.
he'd be really disappointed that I got that question wrong.
That it actually kind of feeds into our second to last question, which
Great.
is about Columbus's Topiary Park.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So the Topiary Park, A, is rumored to have satanic influences. B, is modeled after a neo-impressionist painting. Or C, was partly designed by Frank Lloyd Wright.
I think it was partly designed by Frank Lloyd Wright.
Incorrect. It's modeled after a Seurat painting.
Damn.
It's a Sunday afternoon on the island of La Grande Jatte,
You
for those
even
who want to look it
said
up.
that ties into the next one, and I just swing and a miss.
Hee hee. Last one. Do you know WBNS?
The station?
Yes.
I have heard of it. Yes.
That's all I require.
Great.
So, WBNS stands for something. Does it stand for Wavelength Broadcast Network Sound, Wolfbank's News and Shoes, or World's Buckeye News System?
God, it's definitely either 1 or 3. 2 is insane. 2 is some shit you made up. I'm gonna say 1 and I'm gonna be wrong.
It is two.
Fuck off!
Wolfbank's News and Shoes. Wolf spelled WOLFE. It's a proper name. I think it was the original sponsor, like Wolfbank's News and Shoes. That was either one store or several stores. I might have it. There was some history. Sorry, I had a link here. I
No
don't see it
way.
anymore.
No
Wolfbank.
way.
No, it's behind a paywall. I don't care enough.
Wow.
People can look up
Yeah.
Wolfbank's News and Shoes. Yeah, for sure. So, 5 wrong out of 6.
Yeah, wow.
I'm
That's
feeling good
maybe
about it.
that's maybe my worst yet. You are like the king of dumb obscure trivia.
Well, it's what yeah, that it all felt obscure to me, but for all I know, you could have been like, No, every March 1st, we sit around and talk about the 24-hour car race. There's a local holiday about it.
I mean, Justin, do
That's the
you
thing we have a
know do
parade about the misnamed river. That's like there people get $5 off their barbecue because of the misnamed river thing. I don't know what
wow.
happens.
You think
Columbus?
so little of Ohio. Listen, we're not obsessed with our state. We're obsessed with our state football team. We're not obsessed
Right.
with our state.
And to be clear, your state football team is neither of the professional football teams that play in Ohio, but one of the
That's
college
correct.
teams. Yes.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
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 It's the 18-year-olds.
I actually have recently started rooting for the Bills.
Ooh, that's a tough road.
Is it?
Yes. Aren't they
Oh,
Oh, no, the Bills are okay this year, aren't they?
yeah, they're doing
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
have I mean, they had a long history of being rough. They had that stretch where I think the Bills went to 3 Super Bowls in a row and lost
Mm,
all 3,
yeah, that's tough. That's
and it
really
was
tough.
just like this brutal beatdown. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we've talked about this before. I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast or not, but
Mhm.
I love watching football
Mhm.
and don't really cheer for an NFL team because Columbus doesn't have one, Toledo doesn't have one. Um, my dad wasn't much of an NFL fan. My mom enjoyed watching baseball. Um, and so just never got into a fandom.
Mhm.
Um, but have always enjoyed watching. And so we basically just have football on every night that it's on
Okay.
all football season, irregardless of who's playing. But I have absolutely been targeted by the Buffalo Bills social media team, which is just killing it, killing it.
How do you think you ended up on the Buffalo Bills radar?
I think a few people sent me reels
Okay.
that were funny enough that I watched the whole thing. And then it was like, oh,
There it is.
all right,
Take that,
there it
algorithm.
is. Take it.
Yeah.
Take it.
I grew
Um,
up, like, 20 minutes from the stadium the Patriots play in,
wow.
so but, like, watching football wasn't a thing in my family, so it was just,
Uh-huh.
like, by default, I lived near Boston, so "Oh, yeah, I'm a Patriots fan," but when I grew up, the Patriots were terrible.
Right.
Um,
And
the
then there was
Celtics were good
Ballgate.
early, and well, that was long after I moved away. Like,
Mm,
the Patriots were awful, awful, awful. Like, my 2nd or 3rd year in New York City, I remember watching it was the Patriots versus, I think, the Giants, because I was in New York with a bunch of New Yorkers in someone's house, and I watched it, and the Patriots won, and I was the only Patriots fan in the room, and everyone looked at me, and I sat still. I was like, "Wait, wait, they're gonna call it back. This isn't we don't win things. Something's gonna change." And, like, they gave him the trophy and everything, and I was like, "Huh,
huh.
I guess this is happening." And that was sort of the start of what people think of as the Patriots dynasty now, which
Right.
became this giant thing. But I was kind of gone by the time that happened.
Right.
So now being back in New England, I'm still very much an Eagles fan, which
Sure.
is you're not people don't love walk when I walk around in the jersey. Like, no one's gonna beat me up. I'm not the first person anyone wants to beat up anyway, but I'm definitely like, "No, I've been here a while. I'm still just caring about the Eagles. I wonder if this might have taken, and we're gonna see how that
Right.
leads to me being, incorporated here."
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. It might be time to, like, not replace your hoodie, but just also get another one, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't
Or like
wanna
a pin.
I'm also not a big one for conformity, like, not to blow anyone's
Sure.
mind, but, like
What?
yes, like, the fact that maybe everyone wants me to do something is a really good way to get me to not do something. So, I also do think it's funny to walk through Providence and just say, "Go Birds," and every once in a while, you see someone, like, a Phillies hat or an Eagles cap,
Right.
and I'll just be like, "Go Birds!" And their head will spin around and gotcha.
Right. If you're almost anywhere in Ohio and yell OH,
Mhm.
somebody will yell IO back to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
The, this is a Philly thing, but more than once, I've been walking out of a baseball game, and someone has started an Eagles chant just
Yeah.
because there's enough people, and all I have to
Mhm.
do is say, "E-A," and at that point, the entire crowd has joined in, and we'll finish it. And you're like, "This is a different sport, guys, like, we just watched the Phillies win." But there isn't a Phillies chant, and the song is, like, really boring from 1915 and is really no
Right.
fun. And
Sure.
it's a lot more fun to just scream Eagles. That's how it is.
That's how it is. Yep. That's all we got.
There it is. Sold.
There it is. Go Birds. Team, this has been Training Partners. I'm Weezy Shoemaker. That's Justin McClintock. We'll see you next time.
Later, team.